Good. Welcome back to grade 10 mathematical letters paper 2. So we are going to go through a question paper of November 2024 from the Northwest province. So of course, we are going to start on the instructions and information, whereby information number one reads this question paper consists of 4 questions, and we have to answer all of the questions that are there in the question paper, which means we do not have options. All questions are compulsory. So moving to the first part of our question paper, it reads below shows a list of concepts and the units or symbols thereof. So all the first part we have got capacity. So the measure that we have for capacity, according to our column B, you see that the measurement of capacity is milliliters, which we have on C. So we are saying on the first part we have got C. And on the second part, area. So area is measured by meter squared, which we have on D. And on height, of course, the most appropriate is, or the correct answer that we have is millimeters, which we have on B. And our number 4, temperature is degrees Celsius, which we have on A. So basically, this is what we have. On the second part, it is Dan wants to watch a movie. The movie starts at 2100 hours. It is 1 hour, 45 minutes long. Right? 2100 hours in 12-hour rotation. So of course, remember when we want to reduce from 24-hour rotation to 12-hour rotation, we have to subtract 12 hours. So we're saying 2100 hours. Then you remove your 12 hours. So of course, if you do that, it will end up as 900. If you subtract the two, you get your 9, which becomes 900 p.m. So that is our answer of that part. Then our next question, what time will the movie end? Well, it is going to get to take 1 hour 45 minutes. So we are going to say the time it is starting is 2100 hours. So we're saying 2100, then we get the time it is going to take, which is 1 hour 45 minutes. So if you add 1 hour 45 minutes, it will become 22:45. So that is our answer with that part. Then moving on, you'll see that we have got 1.3. Connie weighs 94 kg and is concerned about her weight. She has joined a gym and wants to lose some weight. Convert the weight to grams. So 94 kgs, of course. We know that 1 kg is close to 1,000 grams. So converting 94 kgs to grams, we're going to multiply 94 kgs times 1,000 grams, which is going to give you 94,000 grams. So that is going to be your answer on that one. Then moving on, you'd see that we are now moving to question 2. So question 2 reads, Morale Secondary School is a boarding school. The school hostel is 4 identical blocks labeled A to L. Each room is 3 beds except rooms 07, which is 4 beds. Below is a layout block A of Morale Secondary School hostel. So this is representing block A. And then the first question says write down the number of the room labeled A. So of course we see that this is 1. Room 2, room 3 is here, then room 4 is here. So it means this is going to be room 5. So this is room 05, of course. That's what we have for that part. Then move on to paper 1.3. Peter is staying in B07. Explain what B07 means in this context. So you will see that B07 now stands for block B room 7. So 2.1.3, write a set of directions to walk from 04 to room 07. So 04, we are having it on this part. And then the 07, we are having on this part. So see that the set of directions in terms of walking, we'll see that coming from room 7, going out of room 7, you have to turn left, and then you walk. And obviously, after turning left, we have to walk straight. So, because you move from room 4, and then you go straight. So after going straight, you see that now that's when you're supposed to turn to room 7. You have to enter the room on the right hand side. So when you're walking in the passage, the room 7 will be on the right hand side. Then you go to room 7. So these are the directions that we have. So for that context, we are saying on 2.1.3 from room 7. It's room 4. From room 4. Remember, you're coming out of room 4 at the point. Turn left. So we are seeing that we have to turn left going this side. And then you have to walk. You have to walk straight to the end of the passage. So when you're at the end of the passage, that's when you have to turn right now. So you enter the room on the right hand side. So this is the room 07, which is on the right hand side. So these are the points that we have. So from there, we go to the next question, which is 2.1.4. The hostel metron says that the total number of learners in the hostel, if all the learners are fully occupied, is 192. Verify show all calculations whether the statement is correct. So we are being told that we have got two identical blocks, and each room has got 3 beds. Those are some of the hints. Each room has got 3 beds, except for room 7. Except for room 7, which has 4 beds. So it means in block A, remember the blocks are identical. It means the blocks are identical. So if you calculate for block A, you can be able to multiply by 12 to get the total for 12 blocks. So in that case, we are saying for block A, we have got seven rooms, but 6 of them they've got 3 beds, and the 7th one has got 4 beds. So you're saying uh, 6 times 3, then you get for 6 rooms, then you add that for the 7th, which has got 4 beds. You're going to get your answer is 22, 22 letters. Then for 12 blocks now, we multiply by 12. So multiply by 12, so if we multiply, see. Yes. So your answer will be 264. So 264. So our question is saying the hostel matron says that the total number of learners in the hostel, if all the rooms are fully occupied, is 192, which makes the statement to be invalid. So in our conclusion, you are going to say the statement is invalid. So this is what we for this part. Then for the next question, it is explain the meaning of scale 1:2. 1:150 is indicated. So obviously, what it means is 1 unit, that we have on the layout will represent 1 unit in one. It will represent 150 units in real life. So basically, we are saying 1 unit. 1 unit on the layout. One unit on the layout represent 150 units in real life. So with that, we move on to the next one, which is 2.1.6. The actual width of bedroom is 07 is 3.6 meters. Use the given scale to calculate the bedroom width on the layout. So obviously, given the scale, given the scale that we have, it means we are going to apply the scale 1:150. And 150 will be the representation of 3.6 meters. So the one that we want, the representation is 1. So of course, we are going to divide 3.6 meters divided by 150. So it will be equal to 3.6 meters, and then we divide by 150. So if you calculate that, you see that you are going to get your answer is 0.024 meters. Of course, our question is saying in millimeters. So with that, we are going to make a representation in terms of 1 meter as a representation in centimeters. Of course, we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So converting 0.024 meters to centimeters, we're going to multiply by 100. So it becomes 0.024 meters and multiply by 100 centimeters. And then you're going to get your answer as 24 centimeters. So basically, this is what we have as a representation in centimeters. So question 2.2. The hostel caretaker found a library card in the hostel gate. What is the probability as a percentage that it belongs to a learner in block A? And out of your answer to the nearest percentage. So of course, we know that the total number that we have in terms of the learners, the total numbers that we have of the learners, we've calculated it and we got 264. And also the total number of blocks that we have got 12 blocks. And the probability that it will be from a block A, of course, a block A, it's going to be 1/12. So we are saying out of the 12 blocks, probability that it will come from block A will become 1/12. And then obviously we multiply by 100/1 to express it as a percentage. So if you multiply, you see that you are going to get 8.3333%, which is obviously 2. To the nearest percentage, it will be to the nearest whole number that we have there, which is our 8. Of course, we see that it becomes 8%. So that is our final answer on that part. So this is what we have in terms of our question 2. So from there, we move on to the next question, which is question 3. So moving on to question 3. On our question 3, you'd see that Connie found a healthy, smoothie recipe on the internet. She must blend a medium-sized banana, apple, and blueberries, and 1 2/3 cup of milk. The mixture use 550 milliliters of smoothie. So below is a bottle she uses to drink a smoothie. Of course, we have got the diagram without the lid as indicated. So on that one, we are also given the equivalence. 1 cup equals to 200 milliliters, 1,000 milliliters equals to 1,000 cubic centimeters. So first question, determine the amount of milk needed in milliliters if 1 cup is equals to 200 milliliters. And we see that the amount of milk needed in milliliters, of course, we are told that we have got 1 2/3 cup of milk, of which 1 cup is equals to 200 milliliters. So to find that, we are going to say 1 2/3, 1 2/3, and then we multiply it by 200 milliliters. So that's how we calculate it. And we know that when it's like this, we can quickly change it to become an improper fraction whereby we multiply and then we add. 1 times 3, we get a 3. 3 plus 2, we get a 5. So it becomes 5 over 3 multiplied by 200 milliliters over 1. So we try to calculate and see what we get. So we are going to get your answer is 333, 333, comma 3333 milliliters. So basically this becomes our final answer. So with that, we move on to the next part of the question. 3.2 is determine the number of bananas needed to make 1,500 milliliters of smoothie. So we go back again and see how many, according to the question, they need us to calculate a number of bananas are needed to make 1,500 milliliters of smoothie. So we can see that 1 banana is indicated here that she must blend a medium-sized banana. So 1 banana will make 550 milliliters. What about 1,500 is indicated? So obviously, we are just going to say 1,500 milliliters, and then we divide by 550 milliliters. So we can see that we have got 550 milliliters here, making being made by 1 banana. So we don't want to see how many bananas will be inside 1,500 milliliters. So we just divide, and then we divide. The answer that we are supposed to get there is going to be 2.72. 7272 as we go forward. So these are bananas. So with that now, we now go to the nearest whole number, whereby it becomes 3 bananas. So this becomes our final answer. So with that, we move on to the next part. Convert 250 milliliters to centimeters. We know that 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeters. So to convert 242 millimeters to centimeters, we divide by 10. So it will be now 240 divided by 10. So we divide, and the answer that we are going to get is 24 centimeters, and this becomes the last part that we have in terms of our question at 3.3. So that we move on to the next question, which is saying, hence, determine the volume of this bottle in cubic centimeters. You may use the formula V equals to pi r squared h, where pi is equals to 3.142. So we represent that whereby we are given a formula V is equals to pi r squared h. So it's a matter of substituting where our pi, we are given our pi is 3.142. Then we look for the radius. If you go there, you see that our diameter is 8 centimeters, of which diameter is equals to 2 times radius, of which radius will be equal to half diameter. So in that case, our diameter is 8 centimeters, so our radius becomes half times our 8, and then we get our 4. So basically, this is what we have on this part. So with that, we come here, we multiply by 4 squared, and then we check in terms of height, of which height we're given it as 240 millimeters. Of course, we have to convert it to centimeters. So we are going to say 240 divided by 10. Remember, it becomes 24 centimeters. So we multiply by 24. So this is what we have on that part. So your final answer becomes 1,206.528. And it will be cubic centimeter. So we go back to the question. So this becomes our volume. The next question, 3.5, Connie claims that one bottle is big enough to hold twice the mixture. Verify show all calculations whether the claim is valid. So one bottle, we have seen that the volume of the bottle is 1,206.528. So we want to see if it can hold twice the mixture. So the mixture, of course, we see that it has 550 milliliters. The mixture has got 550 milliliters. So we divide by 550 this volume that we got at this point. So we are saying now, of course, this is our 3.5. So 3.5, we are saying now 1,206.528 cubic centimeters. So in this case, we divide by 500. We check. Remember, we have to first convert the 1,206.528 to cubic centimeters to milliliters. To milliliters, of which, if you come at this point, we are given 1,000 milliliters equal to 1,000 cubic centimeters at this point. So you see that this equivalence simply what it means is 1:1. Was if you divide by 1,000 both sides, it becomes 1:1. So the number that we have in cubic centimeters will be the same for milliliters. So that's the same that we are having here, which means this figure that we have here is also the milliliters. So we indicate as such, whereby we've got this one is milliliters, then you divide by 550 milliliters. So we see and try to see what we get there. So if we divide by 550 milliliters, you're going to get it as 2.193 So it becomes equal to 2.19368 7273. So this is what we have. So we see that we have got more than two mixtures that can fill in the bottle. So our statement is saying Connie claims that the one bottle is big enough to hold twice, so which is correct. So the statement is valid. So therefore, the statement is valid. So that's our conclusion on that part. So from there, we move on to the next part. So 3.6, the material used to make this bottle costs 20 cents. Of course, this is 20 cents per square centimeter. Determine the cost of making one water bottle. You may use the following. Of course, we are given the formula. So we know that pi is equal to 3.142, which is our pi, and then we multiply by your R radius, of which we did calculate the radius. We got it as 4 centimeters, which is half 8 centimeters is our radius, which you get for is 4 centimeters. So we come here, we multiply by 4. So in brackets, we have got 4 again, and then we add 2, and then we multiply by h, which is the height. Remember, we have got our height is 240 millimeters, which we then reduce to 24 centimeters. So we multiply by 24 centimeters. So this is the calculation that we have. So if you calculate, you see that we're going to get it as 653. 653,536 square was if we try to multiply. Remember, this is the formula that is used to calculate the surface area. So it becomes square centimeters. So this is what we have, and then we are told that 1 square centimeter is 20 cents. So to multiply the value, the total cost of these square centimeters, we're going to say 653,536 square centimeters times 20 cents. So we calculate it, see what we get. So you are going to get your amount as 130.7072, which is at 2 decimal places, becomes 130 rand 71 cents. So this becomes our final answer. So that is now the material, the cost of making one water bottle is indicated. So from there, we move on to question 4. So question 4, the diagram below shows steps on how to change a car's flat tire. So we are having the steps from 1 to 7. So first question reads, name the tool needed to lift the car. Of course, this is the jack. The tool is called jack. Then on second question, write step-by-step instruction from step 2 to step 5. So we can see that we have got our step 2 on this part, and then we have to write them down up to step 5. So from this point to this point. So we can start by step 2. So step 2, we can see that the person is unscrewing the nut using spanner. the screws are being removed. So on that part now, I'll indicate a search whereby we are saying this is now step 2. Step 2 is unscrew. Unscrew the nut using the span. So step 3, on step 3, we are seeing that the car is being lifted. So to lift the car with a jack is our step 3, as indicated on this part. So we're saying we are now on step 3, lift the car with a jack. And then we move on to step 4. So step 4, at this point, we can see that there is the issue of the wheel, whereby the wheel is being removed. So remove the wheel. Then we move on to step 5, which is the last step. Step 5, we are seeing that there's an arrow pointing inside, which means the wheel is being taken inside. So we are taking back the wheel, put on the spare wheel. So basically, this is what we have on this part. Then we move on to 1.4 and 1.3, which step indicates that the car must be lowered down. Of course, we'll check where we've got the arrow that is pointing downwards, so that is being lowered down. So this is on step 6. So we are saying step 6 is our correct response. Then 4.1.4, it is recommended that the process of changing a tire must be performed on a flat surface. Give a reason for this recommendation. This is to avoid the car to roll over. So we are saying the car may roll over. So this is a possibility that is being avoided when it is on a flat surface. So the car may roll over if the surface is not flat. So with that, we see that this is the last question on this page. So question 4.2, Connie makes a glass bowl, makes glass bowls and sell them local stores. She packs one bowl in a small box with the dimensions 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. During the distribution to local stores, she packs the small boxes in a bigger one, 65 centimeters by 65 meters by 55 centimeters. Then the diagram below shows the dimensions of each box. So we've got a big box and a small box. The first question, give a reason why there are arrows on these boxes. We see that there are arrows that are pointing upwards. So the question is, why do we have those arrows? So these arrows, they give indication. You can just maybe try to put it on this part. So they give indication on how to handle the box. So this is what we have on this part. And then the next question says, Connie claims that she can pack more than 18 small boxes in a big one. Verify your calculations. Verify showing all calculations whether the claim is valid. So obviously we need to first align the dimensions by dividing the bigger dimension with the small dimension, and then we multiply the answer. So we can start with the length. So on the length, we are saying the bigger length of the bigger box, we have got 65 centimeters. We've got 65 centimeters. And then small box, we have got 20. So 65 divided by 20. So if we come on this part, we are going to saying 65 divided by 20, and then you are going to get your answer is 3.25, which we are supposed to round down to become 3. For the length, it becomes 3. Then we do for the width. So for the width again, we see that the width of the bigger box is also 65, and then we put 20 for the small box. 65 divided by 20. So we have 65 divided by 20, and you're going to get your answer is 3.25 again, which will give us again 3. And then we now have the height. So on height dimensions, we see that we've got 55 centimeters against 20 centimeters. So 55 against 20. So we divide, we're going to get your answer as 2.75, which again is going to be rounded down to become 2. So to get the total number now, we multiply the 3 times 3 times 2. It was 3 times 3 times 2, which we are going to get it as 18. And then we go back to the question. The question is saying that she can pick more than 18 boxes, which is not correct because she picks exactly 18 boxes. So it makes the statement invalid. So her claim is invalid. So this is the last question that we have in terms of this question paper. So thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful. And please let's not forget to subscribe and share. You share the link to our colleagues who are doing a grade 10 medical literacy. Let's meet again in the next video.